Hey everybody, before we get into today's episode of the Dummy Time Podcast, I want to take a moment to talk about our new sponsor, W Energy. If you're tired of the usual energy drinks packed with fillers and artificial ingredients, W Energy is here to change the game. They've created a clean energy formula that is free from maltodextrin, artificial coloring, and unnecessary additives. What sets W apart is their focus on cognitive performance. Their unique blend includes vitamins and nootropics, with the star ingredient being neurofactor. This patented extract from high-quality coffee cherries has been clinically shown to boost brain performance so you can stay sharp and energized throughout your day. And here's the best part. You can enjoy all of this without breaking the bank. If you're ready for that big energy boost, head over to their website and use code SCIENCE at checkout to get 10% off your order. That's SCIENCE and get 10% off of every order. And it lets them know that we sent you. A big thank you to W Energy for giving us the extra kick we need and for sponsoring today's show. Now, let's get into the episode. That jackass joined the fucking chat and my headset immediately died.
Fuck you, Craig.
Jesus.
Or if you can press the other mode.
Anyway. You need to clean your room, Newt.
Oh, 100%. But that's
fucking disgusting. I can smell it from here.
Newt, I am more human than you, and I am an AI-generated voice.
I'm getting late. I'm getting laid off next week for the winter.
Oof. They lay you off for the winter. They just had you shoveling like piles of snow to the side of the road.
Yeah.
Lay you off. They need you in the winter.
No, because they're reducing. It happens every year. They reduce crew size to like minimum. It's only like 4 guys staying on.
That's dumb.
And all they do is just like a couple guys run the crusher as long as they can, and then the other guys just clear snow.
Why don't they just let you clear snow then?
Because they're a bunch of frozen dicks.
I've literally been sitting around twiddling my thumbs and plowing snow, but
oof.
Tell them you need to work because you got a third nipple removal surgery you gotta have.
Strangle you with my back here.
Anyway, okay, so that was a great little intro. That's gonna be fun to fucking cut out. Hi, it's episode, I don't know, 16, 14. I don't know. It's some episode. It's one of those episodes anyway. We have a little bit different mix up. Me and Steve are here. Anthony and Steve are here. But we have Newt with us instead of John or Joe. Say hello, Newt.
Hello there.
So in case you guys haven't seen one of the, I think.
Hello, Newt.
So in case anyone hasn't listened to any of the previous, I think Newt's been on 2 episodes so far, 2 maybe 3. But Newt is our resident friend from Canada. He lives up in the frozen tundra of Nova Scotia. Yeah.
It's gonna be. You say frozen tundra. Well, right now it's -7 degrees Celsius, but next week it's gonna be like up to +11. So
yeah, it's like, it's not a frozen tundra. I mean, it's -7. That's frozen. That is called frozen. I don't know if you know this, Newt, but 0 degrees Celsius is freezing water, and you are -7 Celsias.
Yes,
cold as Eskimo bussy.
Right now, the ground is very frozen. It really hurts when you fall. Just saying, it feels like landing on
tundra. I'm either gonna call you a tundra or a desert, one of the two. Either way, they're both just like your sex life, dry.
Oh, that was a low bro.
I love you, buddy.
That was a low bro, man. Low bro.
The fucking plate glitched. The plate short circuited.
Oh,
There's been times where I've gotten Newt laughing so hard during just like normal VCs and like shit like that. I swear to God, the fucking electrical impulses in her brain is just bouncing off that metal plate in there, and it's just.
He's over. We just don't see it, but he's over there going.
There was one time. So there's one time it was me, Hayes, and Newt, and I had Newt going so bad. I muted my mic, and it was when Hayes was right behind me in the old house, and I just turned around and go, I think I short circuited Newt. I don't think he's laughing anymore. I think that's his brain having a seizure. But
no.
So
maybe.
So Newt was telling us a little bit ago that like he's gotten like 2 trucks, and it reminded me of something that happened to me this morning, which was really, really funny. I called Steve immediately. It was like 7:40 in the morning, 7:20 in the morning. I called Steve fucking immediately.
It was around 8.
It was
About
around,
it.
was it closer to 8? So I was all right. So New, imagine this, all right. I'm driving down this highway in North Carolina, 17 South. I'm just driving down the highway, cruising just like normal. 17 South eventually turns into I think it's called 140, which is a bypass for one of the main freeway systems. Okay. So I'm driving down this fucking highway doing 70, and all of a sudden I get like a thing on Google saying, "Hey, police are ahead. Do you still see them?" I go, "Oh, really?" The Google's pretty quick. It usually pops up like me. So I'm looking around and I see the lights. I'm like, "Oh, there they are, little fuckers!" And the police were there because apparently a truck, like a 26-foot Penske truck, decided to jackknife and then land on its side and skirt its way
Wait,
across the fucking.
I don't think it decided to do shit.
Well, all
The
right. So when I
trigger behind the wheel.
what I saw was a Penske truck on its side. Not realizing, I just thought there was an accident because I saw the car over the embankment and down by a sign. I was like, "Oh, there was an accident." No, this truck had flipped its fucking shit, landed sideways, blew the top off of it, and spewed someone's shit, medicine ball, exercise equipment, hats, and clothes, just all over the side of 17. Just someone's shit was everywhere. And as I drive by, I just see these two Hispanic guys that are sitting in front of the truck and they're just looking at each other like, I don't know what to do. It's,
You know,
and there's this.
okay, so you know what I would have done? Because I've been on parts runs to go pick stuff up from one of our parts places, and the inside voice in my head won that day. Okay, I let my intrusive thought win because, mind you, for context, I'm in my service truck that's got Penske plastered down the side of it, and it's Big Bird yellow. So I mean, can't miss it, can't mistake it. It's got her name down the side of it. There's two cars on the interstate that are, because you know where Death Valley is. So I'm
Right.
coming through Death Valley, went and picked up the parts. I'm coming back. They're still there. I'm like, all right, fuck it. Intrusive thought won at that point. And I'm like, I'm just driving and I reach over and I roll the window down and I slow down with traffic and I politely but yet very audibly hollered, "You can't park there," and just
Jesus
kept
Christ.
driving. I'm like,
Jesus.
"Yep, I got my company on the side of this bitch." But yeah, no, I whole ass hollered, "You can't park there," while this lady's on the phone, and she hollered, "You're an asshole," and I was like, "I know. Have a good
I'm,
day.
I'm well aware I live with
I'm
myself.
aware."
I know I'm an asshole. I have a wife.
Right? I get called an asshole on a
Jesus.
daily basis. The fuck else is new, bitch? Like,
Right?
I
No,
don't
I was
care.
just, well, I called Steve because I was like, there's no one else that, nope, I'm calling Steve right now because it's a Penske truck. This is gonna be funny to him. And man, I tell you, me and him talked the entire, like almost the entire way to work on how the fuck did these two guys manage to not only roll this fucking truck, but spit it all the way across the highway and just
So
spew shit everywhere.
the sides of those
Also,
the walls of those box trucks are very thin. The 26 is the walls of those box trucks. You can literally walk up and push it, and it just sits there and does like it just sits there. It's kind of like as a kid, you'd get that like get a piece of like metal or some shit, and you
mhm,
shake it, and the motherfucker like make the
yeah,
fucking how they would make thunder in movies. Um,
right.
so it's kind of the same thing to a point. So if you flip that thing just hard enough, you probably are gonna pop that thing open like a sardine
Dude,
can.
that top, it wasn't even like a sardine can. It was like the top just didn't exist. It's like the thing didn't have a fucking top on it. It was gone.
The tops a lot of the times are like either sometimes even like they're just plastic
They're
or some kind of
yeah, they're plastic, but like they're also riveted in there. So I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm
that
saying.
one
Like
like he had to the car in the ditch had to have cut him off. And if
something.
he like tried to overcorrect and the weight shifted in that truck, whenever it flipped and it hit the side, it probably hit the damn side hard enough and it just popped everything loose in the top.
I
Probably.
probably because that car didn't make it into that embankment by itself. That was a shit. That was like a Malibu. That was like a
What?
2023 Malibu or some shit. Like there was
So
no way that made it over that. It didn't go there by choice.
we're like one of the stops if it's close to people that wreck these trucks before it goes to the body shop. Because I mean, you got to drop it off and get in your vehicle. We had
Yeah.
one come in. They hit a low bridge, didn't kind of think about it. They just just kept fucking driving until they heard. They ripped the top of this box open like a sardine can from the front. And mind you, it was
Jesus
26 footer. It was one of the ones you've seen. They ripped the
Christ.
box. They ripped the top of the box open like a sardine can from the front to the middle,
Just
and
rolled it.
laid the roof part in the truck.
Oh,
That's
God.
fucked, man.
Oh
I
no,
couldn't imagine.
we see them. We see the shit all the time. There was one that it actually happened like 10 minutes away from me.
Ooh.
And they box truck dude. I know the area. The area is like a 30-mile-per-hour zone. They were in a 16-foot cab over, and for an idea of what the cab over, you know what a cab over is, right, Newt?
Yeah.
The cab over box trucks, the engine's under you.
Right.
So they were in a cab over, and they split a power line pole in half.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean,
So
I
if there was
guess, you know.
anybody in the passenger seat, they got a facial, because if they didn't die, they probably wish they were dead.
I mean,
Because
you know,
that thing, the top half of the fucking light pole was still hanging there.
on the truck.
No, in the air.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. The truck was like another 30 or 40 foot past the pole. They
I mean,
went
hey, you know what?
through the pole.
Credit to the power lines, I guess. 'Cause shit, you
It
fucking do that
held that
here.
damn thing in the air.
You do that down where I work, man. The fucking pole block is losing power for like 2 days,
Oh, they lost power for a minute, but like
dude.
for a hot minute.
No, you know, I mean, they've gotten a little bit better, Newt, but we have one maybe two power companies in all of North Carolina, and these motherfuckers, if a power line blows or a transformer blows or just something happens that the fucking power goes out, you're out for like hours. They are one of the slowest fucking responses I've ever seen.
Well,
Ever.
it's like here too, but like to be fair, we don't nearly have as much money or um, personnel as you guys probably do.
Well, I mean, you also have to fight frostbite, wild animals, the public.
Yeah, the public definitely.
Listen, I watch Trailer Park Boys. I see what happens up there in Nova Scotia.
We're you know
I fucking
you you
I've
you
seen
like
Letterkenny.
yeah. Those shows are like a bit of the extreme of what it's like in Canada, but they're not far off.
Oh, I'm just gonna start calling you Ricky.
Like you do
It's like,
have those
fuck.
you do have those guys. You have your Bubbles characters. You have your
I love
you have
Bubbles.
your Wayne character from Letterkenny. You have all those characters are just like extreme versions, but you have those characters
Yeah, oh yeah.
because like especially Nova Scotia, like it is basically the main port from like
Mhm.
Europe into Canada. So we one multicultural. So we have a lot of like different groups from all over Europe and all over like everywhere. So you get all those cultures mixing in, and it just gets really fucking weird. And especially if you know the leading culture is Celtic,
Yeah.
it's just fucking weird.
Dude, so that actually brings up an actual question I'll ask you guys a little later. Fuck you, Steve. Trying to get me to chuckle during Newt's story.
I saw that. I was like, what the fuck did Steve send?
I saw your brain for a second see it and stop and have to like process, and then
That
all like
metal
2.5
plate,
seconds.
That metal plate had to stop and be like, "Oh, I get it now."
Um, well, so me and Steve were talking about that. We're actually good. Me and Steve been chatting pretty much all day. Me and him just been chatting back and forth about shit that's been going on. Stuff I can't talk about quite yet, at least while not we're recording. But we will be talking about it probably next episode. We'll probably be able to actually talk about it. But we have some stuff in the works that we can't actually talk about yet, that are very exciting. But I've had to. Me and Steve have been corresponding quite a bit on how we're going to do said things. But we've been having the most out of pocket week I think I've ever had. And Steve, why don't you go ahead? Why don't you go ahead and enlighten our little Canadian gem, our innocent little Canadian boy, of the fuck you found the other day? Because Steve has a really cool part of his job that I wasn't aware of, and that's rifling through people's shit.
Okay, so sometimes we get trucks that they're considered stolen units, and when they're considered a stolen unit is because somebody basically just, I'm gonna rent it for a week, but holds on to it for like fucking month, and they'll change their card information, all their shit that they gave us, and it goes down as a stolen unit. We get with local PD, find the truck, get it towed back, and then it has to sit in our yard for like however long it takes it to go through the legal process of the whole thing. So, mind you, I told you what? I think that truck had been sitting there for 7 months on
Yeah,
our
for a
lot.
while.
7 months on our lot.
Yeah.
We got the go ahead 3 weeks prior, mind you, 2 weeks prior than when I cleaned it out. So we got given the key, hey, this needs to get cleaned out, yada yada yada. We were just going to take it to the dump. I would have preferred to have just took it to the dump. I would have preferred that because I wouldn't have had the displeasure
Oh, you were tickled
of
pink. No pun
finding
intended.
fuck you, of finding what I found in this fucking truck. Okay? So, on the lighter side of this truck was about from back door to front, it was almost waist high on me, and I'm like just shy of 6 foot tall.
Newt, have you
It's
ever watched
like
Storage Wars?
Yeah.
Think of
it
that,
looked
because
like
Steve showed me
that.
the
It
truck.
looked like that on wheels.
Yeah, that's what it looked like on like
But
one of those real good units that they bid on. Well, this
it
turned
was
out to be
like
a real good unit.
it was like 2 foot deep, 2.5 foot deep, roughly from front to back.
Right.
There was a gaming chair in there. There was microphones in there. There was podcast equipment and shit in there. I found a laptop that got gone quick. You'll understand in a second why that got gone hell quick.
I guarantee you that wasn't podcast equipment, my guy.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't. But I found a keyboard. I found a mouse, TV, like gaming chair, a queen size bed frame, which I understand what that was for now. But I found a bunch of shit, baby clothes, adult clothes, shoes, like all kinds of shit.
And then you found the milk
And
crate.
I found a trailer hitch, which I'm leading to that, Anthony. Don't you be leading up to that. I found a trailer hitch. It was like one of those trailer hitches, Newt, that you use is a drop hitch that you use to pull a camper with.
Yeah.
One of them heavy duty ones, that damn son bitch was heavy as fuck. I found that. So I went to one of our techs. I said, "Hey, I got something over here in the truck you might be interested in." I don't know. He walks over there and he's like, "Damn, hell yeah, I'm interested in that." He picks it up, takes it to his truck. I walked off because I had somebody on my fuel island.
Mm.
I come back, they're gone. Like the tech and his son, they're gone. They're back in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
They went through and looked in this truck before I could continue to look. They found the item of conversation before I found it. They
Oh, then they
like
just sent you to look for it?
strategically
Oh,
placed this thing up against like in the box it was in, like the plastic shoebox it was already in. They like placed it just to where I would like eventually find it. Yeah, I found an 8-inch dildo in a box.
not just any dildo. Not
Not
just
just
any
anyone.
dildo.
Not just anyone. I'm
This
looking
had,
like I was baffled at this thing, and I'm like, one, why why are the veins on it blue?
because your veins
And
are blue.
not like that, bro. That shit was like
You,
neon
you,
blue,
found,
dog. You seen the shit? Shut up.
I saw it.
Anyway,
you found a monster though.
and then I looked at it again, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. I know what this attaches
So,
to.
mind you, by this time he had me on the phone, right? And I was on like a voice chat with him. He's like, "Look at this fucking thing," and he shows it to me, and I go, "Hey, Steve, what's that little nut on the back of it?"
Yeah, there was a nub on the. There was like a there was like a metal knob on the bottom of it. And I'm like, I've got half a mind if I know what that goes to. It was a fuck machine dildo.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on the phone with Steve, and I'm like, "Dude, you found a fuck machine dildo. That's fucking hilarious." We're sitting there chatting about it. I go, "Hey, you call me when you find the fucking machine, all right? You call me."
Why did you?
Because I bet you
Okay,
it's in there. I bet you it's fucking in there. He's like, I still got half this truck to go through. I was like, I bet you under all that shit, you're going to find a metal framed fuck machine with a nice big old piston on it, and you should take it home.
I was like, absolutely the fuck not. So I actually didn't get a chance to call you after I got most of that truck cleaned up. I found the rest of it.
Oh, no, you texted me. You texted me when you found it because you're like, I found the fuck machine.
Yeah, yeah. I found the shit and I was like, I really ought to box this up and mail it to somebody I know and just not say shit and
Man,
just let it.
that's a bold prank. You know how much that would cost to mail somebody?
It'd be
That's just
fucking
like
worth it. Dude,
that's just like
no,
60
speaking of
pounds.
okay, speaking of no, it was one of the low end ones, like cheap ass ones. Um, it wasn't big as fuck. Like
What have you been researching online, Steve? Should we check your
it was
history?
about that big,
Oh, that's not a fuck machine.
close enough. So I actually found out this shit on TikTok, and people piss me off enough. I'm gonna start finding out addresses, and when I find out your address, don't piss me off. Cause did you know? Did you know that for between $60 to $100, you can mail somebody a live camelback spider?
Did you know that you can also mail giant bags of shit or
I mean, you can,
buckets of
but,
poop?
but I mean, get somebody with arachnophobia and mail them a camel spider?
I'm just saying, listen, I'm all for pranks. I'm all for pranks. I will send someone a bag of dicks. I will send someone a giant poster board dick. I will send you poop. I'll send glitter bombs. I sent Newt a glitter bomb once. Made sure to warn him, tell him to open it outside so that way he didn't get covered in, fucking
Oh,
craft
fuck
herpes.
that.
But
You're way nicer than I am. I wouldn't have
oh,
wanted
I was. I'd
shit.
have felt so bad. Well, the only reason I was like, "Hey, you should open that outside," was because Newt lives in a basement, and so if he was to open that, that basement would forever just be cursed. Poor Fergus. Fergus would get coated. He'd they would have never have had to get a reflective harness or collar for him ever again. They throw him outside, he'd be getting fucking mistaken for a chupacabra or something. Like,
De come cabra.
like Like, I wasn't about to glitter bomb this poor man in the basement. Fuck that. It's like, "No, you should open that outside."
Just Satan's dandruff everywhere.
What's funny was the video I got, which I never got to use, which is really sad. I never actually got to use it. But the video I got was Newt holding this tube way out next on his porch, thinking it's gonna like fucking go off like a Roman candle. Just and he goes, It's like the worst fucking. It was like the laziest goddamn glitter bomb I've ever seen. It reminded me. You know what it looked like? Remember that scene in the Trolls movie? You have kids. You've seen the Trolls movie. Newt's a child. He's seen the Trolls movie. Little child at heart. Um.
If
So
not,
in the
actually.
Trolls movie, when she opens up the fucking invite for Branch and it just spews glitter all over his face, and at the very end,
Yeah.
it's like that was that whole glitter bomb. It was just there you go. There's your glitter, bitch.
There wasn't enough oomph packed behind the glitter.
Yeah, that spring must have got cold or something. Because you got it in what, winter last year, a couple years ago? Didn't
Yeah,
we
it's only
finally mail
winter.
it to you in the winter? Yeah, so it was just frozen. That spring was just stiff and frozen. But yeah, we've been having an eventful week of finding fucking fuck machine dildos and fucking. This episode of the Dummy Time podcast is brought to you in part by Southeast Carolina Crossroads. Addiction is a struggle many Americans suffer with. Being a slave to your vices is never a life one wants to lead, and in today's day and age, finding help with addiction, especially for men, can be just as daunting as the addiction itself. Southeast Carolina Crossroads wants to help you break free from the chains of addiction and give you the tools to help not only get out of the damaging cycle, but also provide skills and lessons to help maintain your sobriety. Their 13-week or 90-day residential program is designed to help men get the support they may desperately need to break free from their addiction and go on to live fulfilling lives without the shadows of drugs or alcohol. I have a great friend that suffered with alcoholism. It was ruining his life, his body, and destroying the person that I knew. And although I am not personally a religious person, I was able to see that the good Crossroads had done for him, and I couldn't recommend them more. So if you or a loved one are struggling to kick their addiction, give Crossroads a call at 910-549 8487 or apply online at secarolinacrossroads.com. Once again, that is 910-549-8487, or you can also apply online at secarolinacrossroads.com. Thank you, Southeast Carolina Crossroads, for helping my friend and sponsoring today's podcast. I got a new job. I'm working at a pawn shop now.
Like on the other hand, there's like I've actually found some decent shit. We came across a Yeti cooler one time. It still
Nice.
had to
No.
dude, it is brand new, still had a tag on it. I found a pair of Jordans, like,
That ain't
and they
bad.
happen to have been my size. Ironic.
That's
But
not bad at all.
nah, I looked them up on Amazon. They were like $50. But
Yeah.
still, whatever. I haven't put my feet in them because reasons. But I do end up finding some random decent shit.
No, that's not. I mean, yeah, that's kind of like this new job at the pawn shop. Like, there's been some cool shit coming through, like cool fucking shit. I mean, we sell guns and stuff, and like I'm a huge gun guy, and so like we gotten some really cool. We got a Russian pistol in the other day that was fucking sick. It's from like the 50s or 60s. It was dope. It looks so cool.
Don't tell John.
It was so cool. Dude, they have these things called PC chargers in there, right? They're basically just someone took a pistol and made it into a submachine gun. Like, so it's a 9mm submachine gun, pretty much, just semi-automatic instead of a full auto. Impractical, $700. Impractical as shit, and I want it. I want it bad, just because it looks like it's so much fun. It's got a 100-round drum mag that comes with it. Well, so rules, apparently there's rules, like I can't put something on like layaway at my own store. I have to take it to another store and have them put it on layaway. Yeah. Also, a fun story about this place I'm working. So typically especially here in the South, if you're working a pawn shop, typically if you walk into a pawn shop, like, there's a place in town called Jim's Gun and Pawn. So you walk into Jim's, everyone's carrying a pistol. Most pawn shops, everyone's carrying a pistol on them or something, because it's almost a requirement in pawn shops to open carry, at least while you're working. So the one I work at now doesn't have that. They actually have the opposite rule. You are not allowed to carry a firearm, period. Reason why is because a few years ago, like 4 or 5, they had an employee who was working the gun counter, decided they wanted to show their personal firearm to a customer, and had an accidental misfire into the wall because they did not properly clear their weapon.
Dumbass.
Dude,
the best part, after they did it, they circled it and wrote jokes around it like it was fucking funny. And like
I mean,
The
what
guy
else?
sitting there telling the guy who runs the store is sitting there telling it to me, and I'm like, "Are you the fuck?" He's like, "Yeah, so they decided that we're not allowed to carry pistols anymore. It's kind of a bullshit rule, but it's for safety." I'm like, "Yeah, apparently, because your girl didn't know how to clear. Well, who doesn't know? How are you working a gun counter? Be certified because you have to get certified to do that. Like, you have to go through a certification. There's a classroom thing I got to do. It's wild, but like." If you get certified to handle fire, why the fuck are you not clearing a weapon?
Dude,
Drop your mag, clear it. Like, come on.
for one, why are they showing off a personal piece
Again,
anyway? That's one question.
yeah.
And the Dunham Sports here in Burlington,
hmm
like they had a dude behind the gun counter shoot himself in the fucking leg.
Jesus. He
Yeah,
fucking cheddared him. He cheddared himself?
he cheddar bobbed himself in the middle of the store. Fucking gun goes off
Christ.
in the mall, mind you, because it's attached to the mall
Right.
and it echoed through the mall.
Well, yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Why are you, and there's the thing, like, I get you're working at a sporting goods store, but you work at a sporting goods store in a mall. Why are you carrying your weapon on you? There is absolutely no reason for you to have your weapon on you at that point.
right?
In your car, sure, but you don't need to be carrying it into the fucking store. You have security guards. We have police at the mall all the time. Like,
Yeah,
you, sir, do not. There is not a goddamn dollar in that cash drawer at your minimum fucking wage pay in fucking store job that you need to shoot somebody over if you're working in a fucking mall. What's the
right.
worst that's gonna happen? Some 16-year-old kid walks in, fucking shaking his dick, going, "Give me your money." Like, you don't need it. It's a mall.
I
Let's
mean,
go
God
to
forbid
the
they try and
mall.
God forbid they try and do some dumb shit in the mall and you work in the right spot. Like you, you have an array
Right.
of shit behind you. It's like you can fuck around and find out. It's not going to be conducive to your health, but here you go.
Like, I'm just saying, like, what if you're, like, what if you're to have like, what if your stupid ass, because he shot himself in the fucking leg, what if his stupid ass was to have a misfire happen, it goes through the fucking wall, all of a sudden some poor kid at the game shop sitting there talking about Call of Duty, telling the guy, "Oh, I love the new fucking Call of Duty, graphics are so real, feels like you actually get hit." All of a sudden he's taking one through the back of the chest.
Jesus.
Like, the fuck? People need to think before they fucking do shit, man. I'm telling you.
I used to run till I took a bullet to the leg.
Right?
Now I don't run anymore.
That is just the last thing this fucking country needs is someone to get fucking shot in a mall like that, and all of a sudden that's all you're gonna hear. Oh, look at the fucking Americans in the mall now.
But I mean, here's the funny thing: when that shit happened, they like the people in the sporting goods store kind of got shook up for a little bit. Like, what the fuck is going on? Because they knew where it come from. But after that, they just went business as normal. Once the ambulance took his fucking bleeding ass out of the store, like
Well, yeah,
business
because
is normal.
once you realize the dude fucking shot himself in the leg, you don't feel bad. You're not
No,
concerned anymore because he did it to himself.
no, fuck no.
Like, you hope he doesn't bleed
Learned
out,
your-
but like,
I bet you learned your fucking lesson then, didn't you, there,
you
buddy?
learned your lesson. Yeah, you learned your lesson. Jesus Christ,
Then
that's
you're no
fucking
longer allowed to carry firearms at the store.
yeah.
I wonder why.
My favorite. So we were going to. They were trying to sell. Some person came in to try to sell. Or not to sell. I'm sorry. They're coming to buy. They wanted to buy a pistol, right? And so they're going over. So when you in North Carolina, you don't have to have a permit to purchase. What they do is they run a background check on you, right? Yeah, you don't have to have a permit to purchase here in North Carolina
Just
anymore.
when?
It was a couple years ago.
Oh,
Um,
that's
what
booty.
they do now is so when you go to purchase a firearm, they run a background check against the federal whatever right then and there. They just run it right then and there, and then as long as you pass, you're good. What disqualifies you from that background check? Felonies and violent misdemeanors. All right, keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So, lady comes in, she wants to buy a new pistol. They're talking it up. They get it up to the counter. They're sitting, chitting, and chatting. They're getting all the way through it. Gets her driver's license, and he goes, "All right, man, we have to run through a background check." She goes, "Oh, well, what would disqualify me from a background check?" And he goes, "Well, felonies and violent misdemeanors are what they look at and see if you have any of those, and if you do, then they'll deny it. And she goes, "Well, I have a misdemeanor, but I don't know if it'd be considered violent." Oh, well, what was the misdemeanor? Oh, I beat some old lady. And he
Bitch,
goes,
that's
"Excuse me?"
violent as fuck.
He goes, "Excuse me?" And she goes, "Yeah, some old lady was talking shit, so I cocked her one, and they they hit me with a misdemeanor."
I mean, let's be honest. It
he,
depends on how they filed it.
he looks at her and goes, "Yes, ma'am, that's gonna disqualify you."
But we're
Like,
gonna run it anyway and see what happens.
yeah, let's just run it anyway and just waste everyone's time.
I would have. I'd have ran it anyway just to see what happened. Because on the off chance that that actually went through,
I mean, man,
because
I tell you,
really, if you think about it, it's all in how they filed it. It's not necessarily, yeah, this happened. It's all in what code they put it under.
right? Yeah, well, yeah, it depends on like what they, but still, like, she was just so, yeah, beat up an old lady. God, I've missed this town.
She was just nonchalant about it.
Yeah, just nonchalant, just kicked the shit out of grandma. Like,
Grandma looked at me wrong, so I fucked her up.
pretty much, yeah. I was like, all right,
Grandma
like,
didn't have them good cookies with us, so I beat that bitch's ass.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ. Dude, I had a guy, yeah, we get also, like, I knew that all sorts of people went into pawn shops, like, and we're talking to the guy, like, it's the oldest form of money lending, it's like the oldest form of law, da da da. He's telling me all this stuff, like, so I get, like, they've been around forever. I understand it's a thing. Um, so they have a term for these very specific types of folk that come in. They call them bicycle people. And I'm like, so what is bicycle person? He goes, it's the person that can't drive because their license is either suspended or revoked indefinitely. So they ride bicycles everywhere and they always show up with a car radio, but they don't have a car.
That bitch be stolen as fuck.
I was like, so I was like, so what happens? He goes, well, usually if we're like, yeah, it's stolen, we just don't take it. And we have their license anyway and we have their information, so we just send that to the police. He goes, on the off chance that one of the employees does mistakenly take it, well, they get talked to, and then we file that. So apparently when you pawn something, it sits in the back of that shop for like up to 10 days. Required 7. Reason being is every day, and I again didn't know this, every single day their system automatically sends a report of all the serial numbers we've collected over to the police, and the police run that against a report they have that finds all stolen stuff, and then they send us a thing saying, hey, this stuff, this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, and this thing are all stolen. Can we get the driver's license, the people who pawned those to you? And we send them the driver's license, and then they come and take the items into evidence. It is an efficient machine, I have noticed, is
Oh,
that
yeah.
business. It is an
Oh, yeah.
efficient machine.
So I had, speaking of stolen items and shit, I had a
Please
I
don't
had a
incriminate yourself.
no, I'm not. I had a firearm line back. This was years ago, like 10 plus years ago, about 10 years ago. I had a firearm mine that got stolen out of my car in my driveway
Oh, shit.
because my crackhead neighbor decided that it would be nice to rifle through my car. And I happened to have, like, I walked inside after work and forgot it out in the car. And it was the one time that he was all fucking doped up and shit and decided to go through my car because he was trying to get him some more and stole my firearm. I left to go to work the next morning. I'm like, my door's not shut all the way, for one. I looked in my
Don't be
car and I'm
suspicious.
like,
Don't be
my
suspicious.
keys is gone. And so I called the cops. I had them come out. They dusted my car, everything. The neighbor walks up, and this is how I knew who it was. Hey, what's going on over here? Everything okay? I'm like, yeah, somebody broke into my car last night while I was asleep and stole my piece out of my car. Well, you want a baseball bat just in case? Bitch, the fuck do I want a bat for? And this is coming from the motherfucker that stole it.
He's sitting there trying to. You want
Hold
a
on,
baseball bat?
Hold on. I got you. Hold on. He's the one that stole it. Went and traded it to his coke dealer for another score. I never got my gun back. Okay? He owes me like 350, 400 bucks of like restitution or whatever. Still ain't seen
you'll
it.
never see it.
Ain't
You'll
gonna
never
see
see it.
Never see it. Because he's in way more hot water with that situation. Because the following day, he broke into my ex-wife's parents' business.
Oh,
They owned a auto shop. Broke into their business, threw a brick through the fucking window, like picture window,
shit.
climbed through, and still doped up. Had a purple duffel bag with his name on it. He broke in,
I love stupid
took some paperwork, took the fucking snack box, which my daughter's to this day salty about. That's the only thing from the whole situation she remembers is somebody stole her.
people.
He steals a little girl's snacks, is what she says. But he stole some keys to some cars and stole the keys and the Beamer. Stole that bitch and fucking just took off. They
Christ.
whenever my ex-in-laws got there, he was gone. They reported the car, what was missing and whatever. He apparently ran off the road, and going into housing developments, how they got those really nice signs that are like stone
Yeah.
and shit. He totaled this Beamer into one of those stone signs.
Jesus.
Got out and ran. Purple duffel bag still in the back seat with his name on it.
Fuck, I love stupid people.
Like, he got arrested and shit and owed them like a stupid amount of money. Owes me money. And like he's been in and out of jail numerous times, and I'm like, I'm never
Yeah.
gonna see this. But I still get BPD calling me though. Hey, this is such and such with the Burlington with BPD. We were wondering if you've ever recovered or if your gun was returned to you or if you ever found it.
Nope.
Bitch, if I found it, I would let you know because legally I'm
Right.
supposed to. If it
Well,
was
right.
returned, I would legally am obligated to let you know, hey, my item's back. Thanks for not doing your job. Appreciate it. No. The last one that called me, I was like, you know what? I said, here's how this conversation is gonna go. Because about the fourth or fifth one of y'all that's called me over the past few years of this, because apparently it pops up in a fucking system and they're like, oh hey, we need to call him.
Yeah.
But I said, look, this is how this is. I said, this is what's going to happen. If I get my property returned to me, or some leprechaun shows up and hands me my property back, because that's the only way it's going to happen. Is I'll let you know. I'll call you and let you know. So until then, you're not going to hear from me. And don't worry. I said I've spoke with the detective that was handling my case. Haven't heard from him since. And I said, mind if you don't mind, have him call me. About 2-3 days later goes by. He calls me, hey, this is Detective such and such with whatever. I was like, yeah, I was just curious to like what's going on with my case against such and such. And he's like, oh, well, he's back in jail for theft. And I'm like, okay, whatever. He owes me money.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna do the best. We'll do the best we can. I'll push this up and see what's going on. I said, you know what? I said on second thought, I said, don't even worry. I said, don't worry about 350 bucks. I said, I'm never gonna see it. I said, I know what happened. He traded it to a coke dealer for more.
Right.
I said, that thing is probably buried in a Ziploc bag in this dude's backyard. He's waiting the time frame of when y'all just be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Or if he
He's
ever
going to-
needs a burner, he's just gonna go dig it up out of the backyard. There you go. Bing, bang, boom, done.
I mean,
Chuck in the creek,
yeah.
be gone. I'm like, I know
No,
what
he's
the
not
dude
wrong
looks
though.
like. I know what the dude that stole it looks like. I know I know what area he's in. I said, when it comes time, I said, I'll get mine. Don't you worry. Well, sir, would you mind explaining what you mean? I was like, exactly what I just said. I'll handle mine since you can't handle it. You have a good day now. Click.
I mean,
Said,
at
I'm
a
gonna
certain
get
point, they
mine
just.
one way or another.
I would just think at a certain point they would just give up and stop calling you because it's like obviously
Right,
you're not going to get it back. I get
right.
they have like, I understand that they have like these lists and these obligations and stuff, but at a certain point,
Well,
you just have to kind of.
one of them even told me, she was like, well, we have to just for it after certain it's a certain amount of time between time they check in, which I haven't heard
Yeah,
from them in I don't know how long. But
right.
it's probably due for I'm probably due for another
You're gonna get a
solicitation
fucking call
phone call.
tomorrow. You're gonna get a call tomorrow. That's what's gonna happen.
Right.
You're gonna get a call tomorrow.
I'm gonna talk this shit up. They're gonna call me first thing Monday morning. Um
And all it's gonna do is piss you off.
I'll be like, y'all motherfuckers must be listening hard too, huh? Because I was just talking about you 3 days ago.
Yeah, right.
But
It's
yeah,
like, wow, I just so happen to be talking about you.
they probably do they probably do have it on rotation as far as like call rotation and shit. I just told
Yeah,
him
I
to take
just
I just told him really, I was like, just close it. Like, I'm never gonna see it again and y'all are wasting your time calling.
yeah, it's just
I said, I've
eh.
done replaced that thing by now.
And then that is why I don't leave my 38 in my car in any form or fashion. It
Bitch, fuck
stays
you. I
in
did it
its
on
safe.
accident. I did it on accident.
My shit stays in
Look,
my safe.
if for that much, you've seen you know where I live. I ain't worried about it.
You know, in all honesty though, oh well, yeah, this is a few years ago. I was gonna say if he walked all the way out to where you live right now, I mean, you know what? Let the crackhead have the gun. He took
Fuck
all that
no.
effort to hike his ass all the way out to
Fuck
your
no.
fucking backcountry ass house.
If you walk the half-mile dead-end dirt road I live on to attempt to go through my car, and
Well, you earned.
treat this shit like Yellowstone, bitch. You ain't making it back down that road.
Nah, man, you all
'Cause
that
you
work,
have
you earned
to
it at that
pass
point.
No, dog. You have to pass a number of no trespassing signs or private property signs, 3 at the end of my driveway.
I just like to
So,
imagine Steve go
obviously,
chasing some fucking dude who like broke into his house out of there, and the dude just takes a fucking left into the woods, and Steve goes shit, shit, shit. Dude,
I'm gonna be the
I
wrong I'm gonna be the wrong location, dog. Because
and
yeah,
now because of the story you told a couple episodes ago, you fucking meeting the police in your underwear with a baseball bat. I was imagining you in your boots and your whitey tighties just come back here, motherfucker.
"Get back here, boy, that's mine, damn it." Have Leonard Skinner have Sweet Home Alabama playing through my fucking phone.
Nah, it's gotta be Freebird. It's gotta be the Freebird solo.
The Freebird guitar solo on repeat.
Yeah. It's just the guitar solo. Just the guitar solo on fucking repeat the whole time.
That's exactly how that shit would go down too.
Christ, I can see it. I'm
Oh,
imagining it now, and it's so glorious.
bruh. Speaking of police showing up to my house, I don't know that I've told you about this. Me, Christina, and the kids were at Walmart.
What did Gabe do?
Aiden was no, wasn't Gabe. Wasn't Gabe.
Oh, funny.
Aiden was home by himself.
Mm.
He gets a on the fucking
Oh
door.
no.
They banged on the front door twice. They walked around the
Shit.
house. His curtains were open in his room, and his ass is like this in the bed. He's all passed the fuck out in his bed. They were concerned. They knocked on his window and woke him up. Hold on. He calls us. We're at Walmart. I'm fucking 25 minutes away.
Right.
Like, I'm not even down the street. I'm 25 minutes away. He calls me, "Hey, there's like 6 cop cars in our driveway right now." Shit you not.
Jesus, they sent a
The
fucking
cops,
platoon.
all the cops of Liberty showed up in my fucking front yard that night at like almost 9 something. Actually, it was close to 10.
Yeah.
Fucking sirens, lights, all that shit. Down my driveway in my front yard, banging on my door. There was a 911 hang up call on my road. Mind you, there are 6 cops in my town, and all of them are in my front yard.
Yeah, like the fuck?
Asleep. He
The
was
fuck?
asleep.
So how'd you get a 911 hang-up call from your
They
house?
drove down my driveway. It wasn't from my house. It was from my neighbor's house. They couldn't find the house. They were trying to locate it.
Jesus Christ.
So, standing in my front yard, whenever we were standing in my front
Mhm.
yard that day, whenever we
Yeah.
did our video,
Yeah.
the house I pointed to that way
Right. Yeah, yeah.
through the woods, I'm like, "Hey, that my grandfather also, like, owns land that way." It was that house. But if you Google map my house, you see the road cuts like an L. It's like it was
Yeah.
over there.
It was just over there.
So he's like, "I'm looking for such and such address," and I'm like, "Oh, that's the house at the end of the road." Nope, I sent him the wrong fucking direction. I sent him to the end of my driveway. Nope, it was the other one.
Christ.
So I sent him on a more wild goose chase to look for a house that I sent him in the wrong fucking direction.
Meanwhile, some poor sap's getting shot and is getting his fucking house robbed, and all 6 of the police in your town are just fucking Dukes of
Dilly-dallying
Hazarding their
down
way.
my fucking road.
Dukes of Hazarding their fucking ass trying to find your neighbor.
Yeah. Like, whatever. I haven't heard anything else either because apparently they're related somehow to my grandpa.
Jesus,
But
it's
shut
just
up.
I'm just imagining now Aiden just waking up seeing that and he's just popping his ass up, fucking
Right?
freeze frame. Well, it looks like them gaming boys are in trouble again.
Looks like them damn gaming boys done got there at it again.
Right? Jesus.
Really would have threw them off if I'd have had the flag hanging from the damn flagpole that I got.
I'm not gonna lie, when you started that story, I totally thought you were gonna tell me that Gabe like punched some kid in Walmart for something.
No. I do have a Walmart story though.
Everyone's got a Walmart story. Well, Newt doesn't have a Walmart. So Newt, does Walmart exist in Canada?
Yes, Walmart exists in Canada.
Well, I don't fucking
Man,
know. It's an
Walmart
American company.
Walmart probably exists in Afghanistan. The fuck you mean?
Hey, they were.
I know Taco Bell does.
Yeah.
When Canada
I
was
know Taco Bell does.
we had a Tim Hortons in fucking Afghanistan, right?
Oh, Tim Hortons is so good. I
I'm
love
waiting
Tim
on them
Hortons
to
so
build a
much.
Bucky in Afghanistan. See what happens.
No, Steve, you don't understand. Tim Hortons. Oh, Tim Hortons is better than Dunkin'. They're so good. They have some of the
Timbits are
best
my
coffee.
favorite.
So
Timbits are
my
so good.
my quick Walmart story.
We don't
John
have that
came
one yet.
down and visited one time, and me, him, and Aiden went to Walmart. And Aiden, being the fun, bright child that he is, we grabbed
The
one of
gem of
those.
a soul and a great cameraman.
Hell yeah! We grabbed. He convinced me to grab one of the shopping carts that's got the damn race car thing on it for your smaller children.
Yeah.
He climbed in that shit and was looking like Simple Jack the entire time going through Walmart.
Oh man, his
He
big ass
kept
can't be
looking at-
sitting in
he
those
kept looking at-
chairs.
Oh, dude. He kept looking at people going, "I like crayons. You like crayons? Purple is my favorite color." And I'm like, "Dude, shut the fuck up, man. You're going to get us in trouble and we're going to get thrown out of this Walmart." We start going through. We ditched the buggy somewhere. We ditched the buggy somewhere in Walmart. because it started getting out of hand. We ended up back in the toy section. We ended up coming home with like 2 Nerf guns. Those little like ball, like the thump,
Yeah,
thump.
the rivals. The rivals.
Yeah, but it's like got the 2 handles and you gotta squeeze that
Oh, like
shit
the ones
like
the ones you gave me.
yeah, those. So I've told you the story, but I just haven't told it live.
Here.
We're back there. We got those, and John had busted a left down an aisle, and right there at the end cap of this aisle is a big ball hamper. I grabbed one of those kids, like looks like one of those kids' Frozen Disney balls,
Oh, I got you. I
and
got you. I got you.
I said, "Hey," I said, "Let me know when John's about to run the corner." He like looked through the toys because he didn't want to give himself away. Dude, incognito is shit. Like, gotta give it. He did some Navy SEAL shit. He's looking between like 2 things in there. He's like, all right, he's coming around now. I fucking like sidearm the shit out of this ball. I hit John right in the fucking dick and dropped him to his knees in Walmart. He was fucking pissed.
Now
I
wait, did you
turned
hit him?
around and fucking ran
Did you hit him in the head of the shaft? Because like that's
the
different areas.
whole
Because you could hit.
fucking shit.
I was like, because you could have hit him in the knee if it was just the
No,
head, or you could have hit him in the
nope,
crotch. You know what I'm saying?
nope. It was dead center mass crotch, like everything. And I didn't throw that shit light either. I fucking major league sidearm the fuck out of that ball. Hit him dead center. He was fucking pissed. I turned around and I apologized, then turned around and ran.
Yeah,
I
because
wasn't gonna
John,
be. I
John's
wasn't
got
gonna be.
5 inches on you.
I wasn't gonna be within arm reach of that shit. Fuck you.
He's got 5 inches and hell of a stride on you.
Fuck yeah. My 3 steps are his 2.
Dude, I can't wait until we can drag you to the US so you can actually meet like John and Andre. Because like I know you're not necessarily short either, like not as short as I am at least, but like
I'm 5'8".
yeah. So I mean, you're only 2 inches taller than I am, and like I'm telling you, when you're standing specifically Andre, because Andre is taller than John by a couple inches.
Fuck
When
yeah,
you're
he
standing
is.
next to him, you're gonna stand next to Andre, immediately look at him and go uppies.
Puppies.
Yeah. Doesn't help that Andre's built like the fucking Rock now. I hate that guy. I
I
fucking
hadn't
hate him.
seen
I love Andre, but I hate him.
I haven't seen him since.
I've
I
seen
I got
pictures
to
of him.
see him in person. I got to see him in person that time whenever he came in for my birthday. Whenever we were
Yeah,
at
I
beach.
haven't personally like actually seen. I haven't shaken Andre's hand in probably 5-6 years, but like I've seen I got him on Facebook. I've seen pictures of him and stuff, and like, yeah, dude's built like the fucking Rock. I'm so fucking pissed. Fuck you, Andre. I love you. Fuck you. I become a dad. I get to be a. I become a dad. I turn into a fat, tubby, fucking. My back hurts all the goddamn time. My knees ache constantly. Fucking miserable cocksucker. Fucking Andre, he gets chiseled.
So what's the difference between you post children and prior children then?
I wasn't as fat. I was still just as angry and ornery. It just wasn't as fat.
You know that old saying, perception is 9/10 of the law? Or that's possession, but still.
This possession, sir.
Still.
It's
Perception is key, big dog. Perception
like,
is key.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, motherfucker, he doesn't get a dad bod. He just turns into the fucking Rock. All of a sudden, he's Maui, and he's Maui. I'm Pua. But,
Damn.
oh Jesus. Anyway,
He's Maui, you're Pumbaa.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. Hakuna Matata. Fucking Christ. So, dude, it's so okay. So, this is just a cute feel good story to end it because we're coming up on an hour. So, Gotham has now gotten to where he will start, instead of screaming at you, singing in the car with him. I've gotten him now to where he'll duet me on Disney songs. So Hakuna Matata comes on, and he'll do like background, like he'll sing like background. He loves doing the in the end of the song when they go Hakuna Matata. He loves doing that part and stuff like that. So I'll do all the other voices, Timon and Pumbaa and Teenage Simba and all that. And I'll sing all those parts with him, and he loves it. And he's now gotten to where we'll do "Love Is an Open Door" from Frozen, the song with Anna and Hans or whatever the fuck his name is, the dickhead there with the mutton chops, where he sings Anna's parts and I'll do Hans's parts. And him doing Anna's parts is one of the cutest goddamn things I've ever seen in my fucking life. Because he's one of those kids that when he's doing the song, he also does like the little motions and he like play acts it out. And so he's sitting there doing on Anna's little fucking motions during the song in his little fucking seat. It's so goddamn cute. My kid's so fucking cute. Little Velcro headed bastard. I love him.
You still got him in a seat?
No, he sits. No, his mom has him in a seat. I do not have him in a seat. He just sits in the seat. He sits in the car seat, like the vehicle seat. No, his mom has him in a car seat still. He's way too big. He's way too big. I've told her he's too big for it, but it's her car, her rules.
I'm not gonna.
Her car, who rules. So whatever. But yeah, he's big. He's a big kid. He don't. But a booster seat. He should have a booster, just because he's not quite tall enough. But like he's so big that like he doesn't really fit in a booster seat. So,
dude, real quick. Speaking of like child's movies and shit that we've had, they've doing live action movies of our
live action.
movies.
Live action Moana's getting filmed right now.
They've done Mulan. They've done Lion King. They're doing Mufasa. They're doing Moana.
They're doing Snow White, and it's gonna do terrible because fucking Rachel Zegler can't keep her fucking mouth shut.
They're doing that one. They done Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
If haven't seen Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey yet, go watch both of them because they're fucking amazing.
I haven't seen either one of them yet. Shut up.
Fucking amazing. Come over, we'll watch them. I own both.
I was going through TikTok the other day, like just going down the rabbit hole of my algorithm that's fucked up with TikTok. Dude, they're making a Shrek horror movie.
Yes. Dude, I can't wait. So
I've seen the trailer for that. They successfully created Shrek into nightmare fuel.
Dude, that's amazing. I would love to see that. I love to see that.
The knight that goes to slay this, like going to, he's an ogre hunter, and he's going to hunt Shrek. He's standing there, like does his shit, and he's just standing there, and it's pitch fucking black behind him, and Shrek just like slowly appears out of the back, and I'm like, ugh. That's really just made this man fucking terrifying. Like,
so I'll get on this topic next episode because I would love to talk about it. Is the absolutely we're going to do it. I will talk about it. Is the horror movies that they have coming out of old properties that have gone into the public domain now, because it's amazing. I'll definitely talk about it. But we're getting to an hour, so we're going to close it out. Everybody say goodbye. Please make sure to go. We do have new socials. Hey, we have new socials now. We actually have socials that match what we are. It matches our names and everything now. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, once I get it pulled up, you can follow us on Twitter at DTF_prod. I need to fix that. But anyway, currently at DTF_prod, and that will PROD. That will get you on our Twitter. You can follow us there. Our YouTube now, which is under the DTF flag. Let me pull that up because it all takes a second and I haven't memorized this shit yet. If you want to find us, it is now youtube.com/@DTFYT. So if you want to catch us on YouTube, where you can watch the podcast or you can find our gaming videos, that's where you can find us at DTFYT. Also, thank you, W. You probably heard the ad at the beginning of the episode, but thank you, W, for sponsoring us. Make sure to go to use code SCIENCE, SCIENCE. That will get you 10% off your order. That's 10% off every order. And it also gets, helps us and lets us know that you got the code from us and that we're sending people over that way and we're actually, profitable for that company so they can do cooler stuff for us. Also, make sure to keep an eye out for future episodes. I think next episode probably we'll be talking about something that's a really big announcement. There'll be an ad at the front of the episode for the event and thing that we're doing because it is an event. But we'll also be talking more in depth about that probably next episode too. So that way we can get more information out there. But we're really, really excited about it. I am extraordinarily stressed about it because I've been doing a lot of the footwork and getting a lot of things set up. But I'm super excited about it. Everyone here is really excited about it. So we'll make sure to keep everybody informed about that. Otherwise, appreciate everyone coming by. Appreciate everyone stopping and listening. And I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me while we did this. Newt, thanks for hanging out with us and coming and stepping in and chuckling and being your beautiful Canadian self. I love you. You're such a great dude.
Nah.
You're the coolest dude with a tin forehead that I've ever known. Anyway, bye everybody.
Lame.
Tin.